Game of death by explosion in a bus. There is a time bomb hidden in the bus. After 10 minutes it will kill everyone together. After that time is reshaped, everything goes back to the beginning. Everyone's memories are erased. The two young men are the players. They will keep the memories of each cycle. They must save everyone to escape the cycle. After 10 rounds, they finally learn that the bomb is hidden in the car. Annie immediately spilled the beans about the bomb.
车有炸弹。
With the explosion over, the 11th round began. They realized it wasn't a time bomb at all. When the killer realizes he's been exposed, he'll detonate himself, and that person must be hiding among them. The two men immediately became cautious in what they said, assuming that the killer had brought the bomb in the car. There would have been something to hold the bomb. After careful analysis, the first person to be ruled out was the older woman, because all he had in his bag was medicine. An old man was the prime suspect. He had a sack of stuff with him, and the woman in front of him. There was a red bag under his feet. It's hard to see what's in it, but a plastic bag for a bomb would have been stupid. I don't think it was her either. In the corner of the last row of the bus, there was a young man carrying a school bag, but when Mike turned his head to look, he didn't see him on the bus, but he had been there 10 times before. He remembered carefully, and realized that this man was something else. He was wearing a hat and a mask on the bus, and sneaking around the corner. He didn't look like a decent person, but why had he disappeared? After some speculation, they found that with each cycle, the next cycle would start a minute earlier than the previous one. This means that the bus has not yet reached the stop where the man in black boarded, which means they are now free to get off the bus. They get off the bus, and the man in black is just getting on the bus. Mike decided that this man was not a simple man. He thought this was a long shot, but Annie decided it was too late, so he chose to call the police. Mike didn't want to go to the police. The two men had a disagreement and had some arguments. They then split up. The police were called and stopped the bus, but the killer was desperate for more people to come. Several police officers were killed by the two men. They became suspects again. At the end of the day, Mike saw the dead policeman. He felt a sense of guilt. Annie was being interrogated at the moment. She was likely to be defined as an accomplice, and just then her phone rang.
喂，
睡一觉，觉吧。
A cowardly Mike pulled himself together. They used sleep to start the 12th cycle. Mike took it upon himself to express his mistake.
我们是他的。
The two strangers warmed up as a result. At that moment, the man in black suddenly interrupts them, without a moment's thought, and immediately sat down next to him, pretending they were lovers, had a falling out, to get the man in black to let his guard down. But Mike, who had never been in love before, was a bit shy. He fumbled for a long time. Annie hints at him to make a move. The man in black seems to have noticed something. Seeing the situation, he gets up and runs away. Mike sees this and immediately grabs his backpack, but Mike is too skinny to fight anyone. He is immediately dislodged by the man in black. They catch up with him and continue to fight him, but the fight ends in failure. The bus still explodes on the bridge, and then the 13th cycle begins.